Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rob's Movie Reviews. This week, I'd like to review a movie for you that was released by Columbia Pictures in 1980. It stars Brooke Shields, Christopher Atkins, and Leo McKern. The name of the film is The Blue Lagoon. This is a really good film. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was going to be my cup of tea when I watched it, and I wouldn't say it was one of the greatest films I've ever seen, but I would definitely say that it's worthwhile checking out if you haven't seen it already, especially if you're a fan of romantic films, which this is. It tells the tale of two young children during Victorian times who are sailing to San Francisco uh, from New York by going around the end of South America and coming back up through the Pacific. Their ship gets lost at sea. Only they survive, along with the cook aboard the ship, and ended up on a deserted island. They're both about 6, 7 years old, and the cook dies very shortly after they reach the island. So they're left to fend for themselves, and with no parental or adult supervision. And so they cut out a very simple life for themselves on this tropical island, not having any idea, of sexuality, which eventually becomes part of the story as they get older and as time passes. We see how they try to cope with the reality of their situation and their different aspects, as far as religion and superstition, and it's a fascinating look into what life would be like without adult influence, and if you had to try to figure things out for yourself, how you would develop into adulthood. And eventually, they end up having a child, and their father, or excuse me, not their father, it's actually their uncle that they were traveling with. He has spent 20 years looking for them. He will not give up. He tries so hard to find them, and eventually, well, I don't, you know what, I don't want to give away the ending of the movie, because it's, like I said, it's worth sitting down and watching. It's a really good film. I'm not sure if this was Brooke Shields' first film, but it was definitely a very early one. And though there's some shaky parts as far as her acting, she does do a pretty good job. Christopher Atkins, I'm not really familiar with him. This is probably, I believe, the only film I can really recall at the moment that I've ever even seen him in. And he was good. He wasn't great, but he was good. Leo McKern was wonderful as the cook. He goes by the name Patty. He was really good. He was a strong point in the film. I really enjoyed his performance. The film was released in 1980. It was made on a budget of $4.5 million and ended up doing $58 million at the box office. So it was a very successful film. So if you like good romantic films and you'd like to check it out, again, the name of the movie is The Blue Lagoon. I would definitely recommend it. And until next week, you all take care.